Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Z. I'm clinical psychologist specializing in transgender care. Welcome to my channel. Today I would like to discuss with you why I think baby steps are a holy grail of gender transition. And I would like to also share with you for which individuals I think taking big leaps is actually a good idea and may work in favor of baby steps. But primarily, I'll be focusing on why baby steps are so vital to gender transition for so many of you, so that way you can perhaps better understand how you can make those baby steps and move forward in your life versus keeping yourself perpetually stuck in fear and perpetually stuck in a position where you feel like you're powerless and you have no control. This video will be relevant for anybody of any gender identity. So let's get going. For starters, baby steps are essentially taking the smallest possible step you can take forward. Big leaps are, I would say, going super fast toward your gender transition and whatever actually that which you want to accomplish within your gender transition. Now, let me cover first for whom the big leaps are a great idea. Big leaps are a great idea for people who are sure of their gender identity and who are also sure of what their goals are. Not only do they know what their identity is and they're sure what their goals are, but they also feel like they are ready. They're not scared. Perhaps fear is there, but they're not completely afraid how things are going to unfold. They're perhaps even tired of living their lives the way it is, and as a result, really ready now to move forward and not to waste another minute. And ideally, they'll also have access to resources, access to finances to be able to go really fast. And if they don't have access to resources or finances to go really fast, they know that and they're okay with it taking time. They're still ready to move forward all the way. This is for whom big leaps are a really good idea. Now, in my experience, people who take big leaps doesn't come very often. Even for people that I work with that have access to resources and finances, a lot of times big leaps are not in a picture because a lot of these people have been struggling with dysphoria all of their life. And as a result, they have accumulated lives. They have careers they don't want to lose. They're afraid to lose. They think they're going to lose. And they have partners and they have children that they're afraid are going to destabilize their home life. So in other words, people have a lot of things on a line, understandably so. The more you're going to have on a line, the bigger your fears are going to be. This is just how this formula works. Again, the more you're going to have that you're going to perceive that you have on the line, the bigger your fear is going to be. So who are the small steps? The small steps are perfect steps for people who are deeply afraid, for people who are unsure, uncertain, things that still might be in denial, but wondering how much of this could be cross-dressing, how much of this is gender identity, for people who think they're transgender but not really sure, for people who think this is gender dysphoria but not sure, for people who know that they're trans or non-binary and want to transition but feel deeply afraid or scared, for people who want to move forward and do something about their gender finally for once, but feel like everybody's going to leave them. Again, we're dealing with a lot of fears or a lot of uncertainty. Why are the baby steps a holy grail of gender transition? And again, gender transition, remember, is very broad. For some people, it's just going to be social transition. For some people, medical, and for some people, surgical as well. It is, for each one, is going to be very different. Baby steps are a holy grail. And this is why I so much emphasize baby steps on this channel again and again and again, because each step is intended to be so small so that it, one, doesn't scare you and doesn't overwhelm you. And two, it is so small that it's actually something you can conquer and accomplish. The reason why they're Holy Grail is because when you take that step, you should have some kind of outcome, result from taking that step. It could be feeling more affirmed for those who feel more confused, or feeling like I took this little step and it doesn't feel right. That's also information. That's also clue. That's data if you're confused. Starting to feel more confident for those who are afraid. Look, I took this little step. And I thought my world was going to fall apart. And I realized that it's still standing. And yeah, I came out to my partner and we are in couples therapy, or we're trying to move forward, but the world didn't crumble. My partner didn't immediately disown me and didn't immediately wanted to separate. So it gives you either makes you feel affirmed or it gives you confidence or both. Once you start realizing that you've taken the tiny step and the world around you has not crumbled, you become more equipped to take the next step. The next step brings up outcome, result, information that you're able to look at. It teaches you, it's a teachable moment. It teaches you something about yourself too. And one of the things it teaches you in transition is that I can do it, is that I can do it. And not only can I do it, but I'm noticing that as I do it, I feel better as a result of it. And that's a beautiful thing, realizing that you feel better as a result of it. Realizing that your dysphoria is decreasing as a result of taking baby steps. That second step leads to third step. Do you see now how you're starting to compound experiences? You're starting to really go from this person who is so wrapped up in fear and afraid and scared and feels like nothing is ever possible and feeling completely out of control and feeling powerless and feeling terrified and insecure and lacking in confidence. Imagine yourself as that person, as a plant that really wants to thrive but struggles to. Imagine how every step is you watering that plant or putting that plant on the sun to be able to get nutrients. Do you see how each baby step is starting to give you what you need to thrive in this lifetime, to feel better, to deal with dysphoria, to alleviate the distress? This is why I continue to say again and again that the baby steps are golden grail, they're holy grail of gender transition for those who feel very confused and for those who are deeply afraid. Because if you're feeling confused and deeply afraid, giant leaps is the last thing you should be thinking about. If you take a giant leap, if you're confused and you make a mistake, that has lifelong consequences. If you are deeply afraid and you take giant leap, you're not going to be equipped to deal with everything else because you haven't given yourself the things you need to thrive. This is why baby steps are so, so important. A lot of you are in a position of fear and a lot of you are in a position of uncertainty. Instead of sitting back and doing absolutely nothing day in and day out and suffering and struggling with feelings of fear and feelings of confusion on top of gender dysphoria, I highly encourage all of you to think about what are the smallest steps. Sometimes the smallest steps could be talking to somebody, could be talking to gender specialist, could be talking to local therapist in your area. It could be opening up and telling your friend, one person in your life that you've been struggling with gender dysphoria. It can be something so small. It can be something so small as you starting to writing and journaling about your feelings. If you don't have my book, oh my God, name of my book, On New Terms, Gender Transition Redefined for Adults. I talk about baby steps all the time. Almost every ending of the chapter recommends some kind of baby step because they're so crucial, so important. And if you can't afford my book, I always tell all of you, email me. I will send you a free PDF file of the book. Baby steps are essential. They are the Holy Grail. They're way better than sitting back and doing nothing else. And they're much more tangible to take than the big leaps. So I want you to think about that. If you have taken baby steps in your life in regards to gender transition, you know how essential they are. Comment below, let others know how they helped you build up momentum, how they helped you build up confidence, feeling more affirmed, feeling much more like you're able to tackle whatever comes your way. That's what they're there for. You think about the baby steps as training your body, right? For marathon, you're not just going to go and run marathon. You first maybe going to go buy a good pair of sneakers. And then you're going to buy maybe a good pair of running pants. Then you're going to go for a little jog around your neighborhood. Then the next day, you're going to take a bigger run. Then by the end of the month, you're going to do even bigger run. Okay, obviously, I don't know anything about running marathon because I can't even, I don't know how people do it, how they space it out, but you get the point. You start to build up on previous steps. So comment below, let me know if you've taken small steps, how have they worked out for you? And if you feel afraid and confused, what is the smallest steps you can take today? Put it in the down below in the comment box. That will be your first step, smallest step today. Is just letting us all know what is the first step you're going to take. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.